Hi lovely souls, my name is Samanthajamezz. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, love ya, welcome to the fam. Today we have an 18 plus pick a card, so obviously if you're not 18, scoot your booch. The 18 plus pick a card today is going to be on what does your person find sexually desirable about you. We have pile number 1 with the Opal, pile number 2 with the Dragon Quartz, and pile number 3 with the Amethyst. Now, if you're new to pick a cards, what you're going to do is pause the video, figure out whichever pile or crystal you are drawn to the most, go down below in the description box, find your timestamp, and I will see you all at your reading. Hi lovely souls who chose group number 1 with the Opal. Okay, so what does your person find sexually desirable about you? First, we're going to start with your tarot cards. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The King of Swords. And the Two of Wands. Okay, so you could be dating this person. You could be like in the courting stage. If not, if you are already in a relationship with this person, I feel like you guys just have like a really flirty and sort of fun relationship, and it always feels like you guys are still dating and still like getting to know each other. What this person finds sexually desirable about you is that things are like they're kept new and they're kept spontaneous still to this day. You know, whether you're dating or not, maybe like they've dated people in the past and, you know, after like the 3rd or 4th date, it was just like they've known each other for like a year and it was already like annoying and stuff. And with you, it stays refreshing. I also feel like they like that there can be a commitment there with that like sense of playfulness. The signs that I'm actually really picking up on are Gemini with the Lovers. We have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Leo, Sagittarius, Aries with the Two of Wands. And then, of course, with the Pentacles, we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And I feel like if you're not in a relationship and you're dating, this person does want to be in a relationship. They want to offer you that commitment with the Ace of Pentacles here because they really do enjoy being with you. This person could be the King of Swords. They could be mostly an air sign or have a lot of air present in their chart. And I feel like the King of Swords in general is a type of masculine energy that's sort of a player that sort of doesn't really commit. And, you know, they kind of have this, their like ways with the Lovers where they're really charming and they're kind of like juggling at the same time. We also kind of depicted in this deck at like a third party influence with the King of Swords here. But I don't see that it's anything that, you know, is getting in the way of your dynamic. And I can also read that as like that's something they find desirable about you, is that you would want to include other people, but we'll get to that. Back to the King of Swords though, I feel like this person is usually someone who is like not very committed and they don't like to be tied down and they're sort of defensive and have really strong boundaries usually. I also see them as someone who is very like extroverted and a lot of people know them. They're very popular, so they get around pretty much. And I feel like with you, they can still kind of keep that, but they do have like this huge sense of like wanting to commit to you and be with you, and in a way that is like they're very fulfilled because it's so spontaneous with you, because like the I guess the mood, the feeling is always very like fresh, and they just never know what to expect because it's very flirty and fun with the Two of Wands here. But I feel like what they find desirable about you as far as like features go is like your ass. I'm getting strongly. I feel like they really like your backside, the like your curves and stuff, and they strongly like your ass. They would just like stare at it if they could. I feel like they also kind of like, you know, they kind of have like a foot fetish, or they like to get feet involved either with them or on your side, and like, and it could be like something as small as like you rubbing your feet on their leg like under the table turns them on. I also am getting that they really like your hips. They really like the curve of your hips, and that's why like they're super content with, you know, just cuddling and sort of just like kind of like playing around, really not necessarily just like having sex and like banging it out. I think they also really enjoy foreplay. And I feel like also this person you know, might like that you're into other people, like joining the bedroom or in that dynamic, or if that's something that you're into, that's something they find like sexually desirable about you. And again, that's like goes back to like this keeping this like very refreshing and very like fun and spontaneous. But I'm also seeing strongly that there's like a bond here. There is like a really strong like energetic connection, and I feel like you guys are very compatible and have like a lot of chemistry. So like aside from the sexuality of the cards, I'm getting like a lot of like romance and feelings of just like a deep bond, like trust. I feel like you guys really trust each other. So if you do kind of like to do that sort of thing in the bedroom, I feel like it kind of works for your connection because you guys have like a commitment towards each other. Okay, so for your oracle, we have happiness, the Buckeye butterfly, and we have friendship. Yeah, I feel like with trust, you guys are like best friends in a way. And so things kind of come like natural to you, but like what they find desirable is that you guys can have this like best friend dynamic, but still like have the benefits dynamic, and you're kind of like, you know, best friends, but you're also very sexual towards each other. And there's like a strong pull and a strong attraction here. And overall, I feel like you make this person very happy, and you know, they make you very happy, and that's very present in the cards here as far as like keeping the dynamic fresh. It's like you guys really have it all. So if you're not in a relationship yet, I feel like you soon will be. Like this person definitely wants to offer you commitment. There's some sort of choice that needs to be made, whether that's a choice between like their old life and like this new life that they're going to pursue with you, or if that's a choice within your own dynamic between you both of you guys together. With the Lovers, it does represent like a choice, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a third party choice, like a choice between two people, but I just see that there's some sort of decision to be made. And with the King of Swords, I feel like, you know, usually he's a very like reluctant king who likes to put up his defenses before he does anything. And I feel like you're just completely tumbling them down, because we just have that there's this strong bond, and it starts with friendship, I feel like. We have Mercury, so maybe they have like strong Mercury placements in communication. That would make sense if they're a King of Swords. Aries, Libra, Gemini rule communication, but I also feel like with Mercury, you guys might have like Mercury conjunction, so there's like a lot of conversation that's here with the Two of Wands. Like you guys like to debate it out, and you really have like everything going on in this relationship, honestly. Like I would be very surprised if, you know, things weren't going well. I feel like you clicked on this video because it's like you just wanted to know like what they find desirable about you. Another thing that's like really sticking out to me is your hair. We have the second house, your assets, finances, and the things that you value. Yeah, with your hair, I feel like you have really long hair. It could be literally any range of colors from blonde to dark, brunette, but I feel like it's on the lengthier side, and I feel like it's pretty wavy, and for some of you it's curly, and I feel like they really like that. With Neptune, okay, so we're not really getting a specific sign at the moment, but with the second house, I feel like also something they find desirable about you is that you have your like money together, or you have a solid foundation, or you know, you kind of come from a place where you're comfortable, or you guys both have the potential to make money together. With Neptune, I feel like, you know, you really are like an embodiment of their fantasy. Like they get like a fuck buddy and a friend, and they're happy, and it's like spontaneous, and it's refreshing, and they're satisfied, and it's like you really are like something that they would consider to be like a fantasy, or something that they really wished for. And you know, overall, like that's the whole like package, and that's like what they find very desirable about you. We have Aries. I also feel like this person, I could read this card, this Lover's card, as like this is you sort of like on the right, and in the King of Swords and the Two of Wands, like, well, in all the cards, like there's just this sense of like innocence, and this person feels like they could bring out like a different side of you. And so there might be like a very like dominant and what's the other one? Dominant and passive. Submissive. Dominant and submissive relationship between you two, like in the bedroom. And that would make sense if this person is an Aries. The energy around you is dynamic, spontaneous, crusading, impulsive. Action is likely. Yeah, so basically like with this card with the Lovers, I feel like, you know, you kind of started as this, and then you kind of blossomed into that, and it's really like only for them. And I can also read this kind of like Okay, we have Sagittarius. So strong air and fire here. I can also read this card as like people watch you, or they watch your guys' relationship like via social media. You know, this could be like an ex, it could be an ex-wife, it could be just like a mother or a sister type influence. But I feel like on this person's side, they have a lot of people that have their eye on you, like they're watching you, because maybe they've never like, I don't know, maybe they, you know, like I said, maybe they were really like a player in the past and they want to know more about you and like who's the person that captured this like King of Swords heart and etc etc etc. But like overall, like I think they know that. I think they know that some of their people keep their eye on you, but they kind of like it too because they just really see something in you that you're not seeing, and I feel like you're gonna discover it soon. But there's just like a huge heavy energy of like hope for the future and like all this potential to like really grow and blossom this relationship, and that's like what they find desirable about you at the end of the day. Okay, group number 1, so I really hope you like that reading. Please like, dislike, subscribe, comment down below if it resonated. Let me know what your signs are because I'm actually very curious. And also, I am booking private readings, so if you guys want a private reading with me or any sort of mentorship program or package, email me. You can find my email description box below. And in the meantime, if you want more 18 pluses like this that are not on YouTube, I have some exclusive ones on Patreon. You can go join the fam there, which you can also find in the link below. Okay guys, so I love you so much. Thank you for your patience and for waiting for this video, and I will see you all at your next reading. Hi group number 2, so if you chose this really special dragon quartz, this is for you. What does your person find sexually desirable about you? I'm going to start with your tarot cards. So to start, we have the 4 of Cups, we have the High Priestess, we have the Magician, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and we have the Fool. Okay, so this is really interesting. I actually took a peek at it before I decided to record this, just because of the way the energy was when I was like shuffling for the cards. Like it was just flipping out like crazy, and you know, without this 4 of Cups, with the High Priestess, the Magician, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Fool, I could totally completely read this reading a whole other ass way. I think regardless of whether I read it with the 4 of Cups or not, you are the High Priestess and / Magician watching this, or the person you're inquiring about is the Magician, you're the High Priestess. You could be a Taurus, you don't have to be, but overall I just feel like you're an intuitive. I feel like you're someone who is very spiritual, probably has your own spiritual gifts, probably has been into tarot for a long time. You're someone that's very aware of manifesting and affirming your manifestations. You probably work with moon cycles. You know, she's got this whole book, and I feel like the High Priestess not only is like book smart and knowledgeable in like a 3-dimensional way, like in the real world, but I also feel like she's very intelligent in like a celestial way. Like she knows a lot about a lot, and a lot of people are intimidated by that, and in fact, she's very aware of that as well. And I feel like the High Priestess is very independent because she's very choosy. Like she decides to be single and be on her own rather than with someone that she feels like she has to sort of dim her light with, because she is very overwhelming in that she has a lot of knowledge and she has a lot of power and she has a lot of faith and all of these like incredibly miraculous things. But she's very aware that like the common person can't be around this type of energy. You could also be an empath. That's obviously very likely. And the reason why I started off saying that you could be the High Priestess / Magician is because the Magician naturally is a manifester. When the Magician shows up in an 18 plus reading, however, it does have to do with sexual attraction. The Magician is actually the most sexual card in the whole deck when it comes to an 18 plus. So I said that this person, you know, that you're inquiring about could be them, but I feel like this is just the energy that you give off. Although that you're very independent and you're very brainy, I would say, you're also very sexy and very seductive, and you kind of emulate this aura that's like so intimidating because it's like you're very smart. So it's kind of like back off. you're not just like a bimbo, but you might have like the body of a bimbo, or you might like look really good and have like really nice tits or really nice curves and just be very feminine, like you're a very feminine energy. And so you kind of have this like, you just are very sexual, and or people sexualize you, or even because you're so smart, people want to sexualize you because they want to see like a different side to you. They want to see you like let loose and all those kind of things. So with the Magician, I feel like you're also part and parcel of the Magician. One, because you're spiritual and you're a manifester, and two, because you're just, you know, very sexually desirable. And the person, what they find sexually desirable about you is that you're so fucking sexually desirable, and that so many people are into you and want to offer you something, including this person. I feel like this person wants to give you the 10 of Pentacles. They have no fucking problem giving you, you know, everything. And we kind of see like in this deck, it's really interesting, like the little hidden, this was like one of my first decks, so I know it very well, but there's like a lot of hidden like messages. This girl is stepping on this heart, this like heart plate, and like just completely not caring about it. And you know, the 10 of Pentacles in traditional tarot is like the house, the kids, the marriage, like the money, all of it together wrapped in like a shiny pretty bow. And in this deck, it's like this, that's what they want to give you, but you could give a fuck. And I feel like it's also kind of like represented in her body language. And I just feel like even though you don't really care for it, and we'll get to this Four of Cups, which I know I started somewhere else, this person finds that desirable. Like you could really care less, but they find it desirable. Like they actually would love to stay ignorant about like your feelings for them in return. Like these are their feelings for you because they're driven by like how desirable you are sexually. But you could be out here like hooking up with someone else, or they could be watching you do that like via social media, and then this is the person just kind of like ignorantly walking towards this like path with you, with the Fool. The Fool in traditional tarot being, you know, new beginnings and like an offer for a new beginning. But the Fool also, you know, is the Fool. It's someone who can blindly and ignorantly be headed towards a new beginning without necessarily looking at all the things that could go wrong. And I feel like that's this person, like the desire that they have for you sexually is like blinding to them. It's like they have absolute tunnel vision. They're not thinking logically. You could be out here like fucking someone else in front of them and they're watching it and they're just like, nope, that's not what I saw. Like they choose not to like believe it, or if they do believe it, they let it happen because that's like how strong this desire for you is. And we also have this like kind of snake in the grass back here. So this is also sort of a message from Spirit saying like it's cool to be in this energy. They also, you know that you're divinely guided and very like high up there, obviously the High Priestess. But just be careful because, you know, you don't want to like treat anyone how you wouldn't want to be treated. Just wanted to say that message. I don't know why, but I did. Anyway, so one of the things that this person finds sexually desirable about you is that you reject them with the Four of Cups. Like you kind of put them in their place a lot. They probably are like, you know, you come to hang out with them and they probably want to have this like long talk about how they feel or whatever the fuck it is. And you're just like, look, it's not going to happen. And it's like, you kind of show them out the door, and that person is like, that's sort of what keeps them from coming back. We also have this like imagery of a magnet here. It's like, there's something about whatever the fuck you say, they just don't believe it. Like whatever the fuck you do, they don't believe it, because like the energy that you carry with the Magician of like, whether it's your literal pheromones or whatever the fuck it is so sexual that this person, like, they just don't think logically when it comes to you. And I think you're very aware of it, you know, having the High Priestess here. But they also really like, there's like a huge emphasis on your breasts, and they really like your breasts. You could have really, really long hair or really, really short hair. I feel like there's no in between. I feel like for some of you, you have really short hair and they really like it, or you have really, really long hair and they really like it. I'm also getting that you guys like accessorize really cool. You just wear really cool outfits and you sort of wear whatever you want, and you're sort of free spirited and kind of like gypsy like in that way. And this person really likes that as well. So for your oracle, we have affection, this rose revendine, okay, this rose, this blue butterfly on a rose. And then we have innocence, daisy, peacock. So that's really interesting that we have innocence here, because it's sort of like their own admission. Like they want to see you as innocent. They want to believe you to be as innocent. And in a way, it's sort of innocent of them to like want to do that. And maybe this is like an innocent kind of pure relationship at the end of the day. Maybe you guys are only friends or only acquaintances, and they've never had you, so they, you know, they still want to chase after you because they really, you know, want that, and they want you. With affection, I feel like that's what they're chasing for. They're chasing for your affection. I feel like there's something about you that is very affectionate, very like nurturing, and very like motherly, but I don't think you like quite give that to this person, and they kind of crave it, and they know that you're capable of giving it, but you've just never, like, yeah, with innocence, it's like you've just never given it to them. So I just dropped all my cards. So they chase after it because they want it so much. Okay, I'm gonna pull some astrology oracle. Oof, we have the 7th house. This is the area of your life for long-term significant partners, romantic, business, or family. Yeah, with the 10 of Pentacles here, like this person for sure could see themselves marrying you. Maybe at the end of the day, it's something that you do kind of want to entertain. And I feel like they would be very committed. We have Cancer and we have Capricorn here. So that would make sense. Both of these signs are very, very committed. Oof, we have the 4th house. What did I say about like wanting to move you in, quite literally? Like this is not, you know, an insignificant thing. This person has a lot of desire for you, and they've thought a lot about it. I feel like Cancer is sort of a sign where, you know, they're committed in a very emotional way, and Capricorn's a sign where they're very committed in a practical way, which is why we have this 10 of Pentacles, and it makes a lot of sense. I feel like this person does have something to offer you. They do probably have a home, they probably have assets, they probably have, you know, finances in check, a career, etc., etc. And they probably are also very like emotionally stable, but I just feel like there's something that you're in the middle of doing, or you're on your own path. And so for right now, you're not very necessarily like entertaining it, but I do think that this person is even more turned on by that because they see you as being very innocent, and they want your affection. They see you as being affectionate regardless, but they know that you have more to give, and that's like what keeps them reeled back in. Okay, group number 2. So thank you so much for stopping by this video. Like, dislike, subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know if that resonated. Also, I'm booking private readings, so if you want to send me a little email, I'll send you my prices and packages for mentorship programs. And if you want more readings like this, 18+, I have some exclusive videos on Patreon only, and you can come join the fam, which is also linked below. In the meantime, I love you guys so much. Stay safe, and I will see you all at your next reading. Hi, group number 3. Okay, so if you chose this amethyst, if you chose this amethyst, this is for you. What does your person find sexually desirable about you? Before I even look at your cards, I'm hearing a message about this stone, which I didn't do for the other 2 groups, but amethyst is like a great stone for water signs in general, and it's a very like it's a very tranquil and calming type stone. I know that's really just ridiculous and bleak, but I guess what I'm trying to say is there might be a lot of like peace in your dynamic or connection that you are inquiring about. Okay, so for your tarot, we have the 9 of Cups, we have the 5 of Wands, we have the King of Cups, we have the 10 of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups, holy shit, and we have the Hermit. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna rearrange this like this. So we're gonna start with the 5 of Wands. Okay. First of all, you definitely could be a Cancer, Libra. I mean, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I don't know why I said Libra, but that might resonate. And so could they. There's heavy water here. We have, you know, Virgo with the Hermit, and then we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like there was like a conflict or a fight. This could be someone that you're actually in a relationship with already. but there was some sort of like conflict, and as it's like depicted in this deck with the Five of Wands, for some reason there's like this energy of like a third party. Well, actually we have it in the Hermit as well. Okay, so interesting. I feel like, okay, so what I'm hearing is what this person finds sexually desirable about you, low-key, is your past. Low-key is something that you kind of did in your past, or maybe you even did in your past history with this person. And although it puts them out of conflict with themselves, which is why we have the Hermit next to the Five of Wands, which is like conflict, it pushes them to kind of go inward spiritually and evolve in a way. This is very interesting. It would be fucking water signs that have like a dynamic like this. But with the Nine of Cups and Ten of Cups, I see that you're both very emotionally fulfilled. And so I'm not getting like a lack and therefore something happened with a third party. I'm getting that it was either like an added bonus and this person didn't express to you how it actually made them feel, but which actually turns them on, which actually they find desirable. I don't fucking know. But I feel like it's actually one of the things that they kind of find desirable about you. And it, again, it could be your past, like your literal past, like stuff that you did in the past. Maybe you knew this person, maybe you were just dating this person, or it could have been like past history with this person. So I guess like it's no matter what, it's some sort of like energy of you dating someone else or being with someone else in a sexual way, but I feel like they knew about it. Either you told them or they just knew about it, but I feel like you told them because I feel like there's a lot of truth and trust, which I'll get to. And so that for that, they find you very sexually desirable, and the fantasy of being there or watching it happen is desirable, but they also are at some sort of conflict with themselves. So I don't know if this is like a current thing that's happening in your dynamic, which is why we started off with the Five of Wands and the Hermit. I don't know if you guys are like not talking at the moment or whatever it is, but I feel like overall you guys are in love with each other. You do have love for each other. So I'd be surprised if you're not in a relationship, or if you're not, you're headed into one. With the Nine of Cups, I feel like this is like very symbolic in this deck. The way it's depicted is this energy of like the feminine telling her masculine some sort of truth. And there's like this open and honest communication here that makes the relationship that much stronger, which is why we have the Ten of Cups right next to it. You could be this Queen of Cups, or you could be the King of Cups, depending on who is watching. And I feel like you guys are very nurturing towards each other. There's a lot of love in this relationship and dynamic. I feel like, and it's so funny, I'm getting so much romance when I should be talking about like, what do they find sexually desirable about you? But that's, you know, you guys seem to be like very romantic towards each other, very loving towards each other. And that's actually very desirable. With the Queen of Cups, though, I feel like you're very motherly and nurturing, and you guys kind of fit the role of like divine feminine, divine masculine sort of dynamic. And you kind of like are the homemaker. You probably like are sort of a homebody, and just like you're just very nurturing and sweet. And that's one of the things this person finds very like desirable about you. They really like the curve of your body. They really like the way you dress. You probably wear a lot of dresses, actually, a lot of different like frilly kind of feminine clothing, very like it's hard to describe. It's very like fashionable. You're very fashionable, but it's kind of like feminine clothing in that it's like very thin kind of cloth. I don't know why I'm saying that. And you accessorize. You might have like an anklet, or you wear thigh highs, or you'll do like a smoky eye, or like you'll wear hoop earrings, or whatever it is. But I feel like you have like really good style overall. This person is like very turned on by that, very turned on overall just by your like body naked. But it seems like, you know, every time you are completely naked, it's with someone else in this deck. So I don't know, that's what's so interesting. It's like with them, you're clothed in something. Like even in the Nine of Cups, you're wearing lingerie. In the King of Cups, you're exposing lingerie. which is another thing that you might do. But like when you're with someone else, you're completely naked. So I feel like one of the other things they find desirable about you is that there's still a part of you haven't completely like opened up to them about, still a part of you that you are still kind of like holding off on. And maybe they kind of like that. Maybe they like that you are slowly revealing who you truly are to them and speaking your truth to them and being your truth. And then with other people, you get naked, but it's like actually the opposite effect. Like you're not actually vulnerable with them. So for your oracle, we have truth. Beautiful. And then we have dignity. Ooh, okay, perfect. So yeah, it's like something about you and the way you conduct yourself is very like truthful, honest, dignified. You have a lot of integrity. You're not afraid to sort of admit your past, and that's why they can't even be mad at you about it. There's like a lot of feelings of just like, man, I can't even be mad at it, because they're just like really in love with you, and I feel like you're very in love with them, and you don't really have any intention of hurting them whatsoever. And this just like back and forth loving relationship makes them feel very like they're in a huge partnership, and it makes them feel very like, it makes them feel like a man, and then makes you feel like a woman. Another thing that they find desirable about you is your legs. Like I'm just getting strongly like they really like your legs, whether your legs are like wrapped around them, or just, you know, you're wearing like stockings or thigh highs or whatever it may be. They really like your legs. They really like your curves in general. You could be like on the thicker side and more curvy. They could also be on the thicker side. And I feel like this person really likes that about you. And then you could have really dark hair or like really light brunette hair. That's one of the things that they like your hair color. I'm seeing maybe you like do your hair often, or you dye it different colors. Maybe you even like have extensions, or you keep it longer, or I just think that strongly you're like a fashionista. I feel like you like to play it up with your outfits and your accessories and everything. We have the second house, so your assets, finances, and the things that you value. So yeah, you could have like, you know, your own money together, and you want to go to the mall and go shopping and shit, and it's like this peacock mentality, you know, like you're very vibrant, you catch a lot of people's eyes. This person finds that very desirable about you. You definitely caught their eye. We have the sun, so you could have like Leo in your chart, Leo in your corners. We have Chiron. Yeah, you're just very beautiful. I feel like you're very striking. And I feel like it's because you also maybe are an empath. We have Taurus. So yeah, you have this like just mother kind of nature type, goddess type, nurturing type, I don't know what I'm trying to say, type, like just aura about you. And we have Scorpio, and that would make sense if you have any like cross between this water and this earth, and you're just very like intense, but like in a very really kind of ethereal way. But yeah, I feel like this person is just like really into you, especially sexually and especially romantically. I mean, I would be surprised if you're not already in a relationship with this person, but they find you to be very beautiful overall, and there's just not a feature on you that they don't like or find impressive, and you kind of build them up by being with them. So, you know, if you are with other people, or that's sort of a dynamic within your relationship, I feel like, you know, it kind of actually makes them feel like, I don't know, not so good. But yeah, I feel like overall you know what to do. We have dignity and truth here, and it feels like you guys already sort of have been working together on this, which is why we have the sun. There's like a lot of hope here. And overall, I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting for you, group number 3. So thank you so much for stopping by. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Actually comment, because I want to know if this like resonated. I want to know what your signs are, because it's like I'm very curious about like the water in this spread. Also, if you want to book a private reading with me, you can find my email down below in the description box. And if you want more readings like this, 18+, I have some videos exclusively on Patreon, so come join the fam. You can also find that link below. In the meantime, I love you guys so much. Stay safe, and I will see you all at your next reading.